In this video, I will show you how to sew a fly front zipper without fly extension. To show you the process in every detail, I will be using a piece of fabric rather than an actual garment. First, we need to determine zipper length. I have my right front piece and left front piece. Zipper length depends on your garment type. If you are making a high-rise pants or skirt, then you need to measure the hip height, which is the distance between your waist and hip line. In my case, it's 18 centimeters. Hence I am sewing a skirt. My fly shield piece will be sewn to the left side of a garment. Thus, I need to have a 1 centimeter extension on my left side, which needs to be 18 centimeters long and 1 centimeter wide. The extension needs to be of the same length as your distance between waistline and hip line. The zipper tape top stoppers should be placed 1 centimeter below the top edge. And you need to transfer your hip line mark onto zipper tape. Next, we can determine the length of fly facing and fly shield. The length of these two pieces depends on a distance between waistline and hip line. So in my case, I take 18 centimeters and add 3 or 3.5 centimeters and get 21.5 centimeters. This is the length of my fly shield. The width is constant and is 9 centimeters. Fly facing width is 4.5 centimeters, half of width of fly shield. Fly facing should be shorter than fly shield by 1 or 1.5 centimeters. So in my case, I take my 21.5 and deduct 1.5 centimeters, and I get 20 centimeters. Next, apply interfacing to fly shield and fly facing piece. Depending on your fabric, you can apply interfacing to the entire piece of fly shield or just half of it. If your zipper is too long, now is time to trim it. I prefer to have my stoppers below hip line, just 2 or 3 millimeters below. So my stoppers won't be visible on the face of the garment. Simply sew across the teeth of the zipper and cut off the surplus zipper below the stitches. Next, finish the raw edges of the center front pieces with a serger or a zigzag stitch and press. Fuse interfacing to your fly shield and fly facing. Fold the fly shield in half, right sides together. Press slightly. Next, we need to join left and right front pieces. Place left and right pieces right sides together. Right sides together. Remember of your 1 cm extension. You need to align these edges below the hip line. You need to align edges below the hip line. Pin it in place and do a straight stitch 1 cm from the edge, starting at hip line mark and continue to the end. This hip line mark to the bottom of my garment. Make sure to backstitch a few times at the hip line mark before continue to the end of the seam. I start at the bottom of my garment because it's just easier. But if you're sewing your final garment, start at hip line to avoid any waves on your fabric. Press the seam flat, then press the seam open. If you are sewing pants, then you need to give a little stretch at the crotch. Now, press the left front zipper extension. This is your 1 cm extension towards the wrong side of the fabric. And align the edges. Make sure that all edges are aligned. You just pressing 1 cm extension. And press. Next, take your fly shield piece And on a fold edge or crease line, measure 2 centimeters from bottom edge up, like this, 2 centimeters. And on opposite side, measure 0.5. Draw a line connecting these two marks. You can draw a curved line, it's up to you. And next, do a straight stitch along this line. Before we proceed further, we need to check that everything is correct. Turn the fly shield right side out. And just attach it to your garment, just to see that it's in the right position, in the right place. And fly facing, place it onto the opposite side. I just marking where I need to serge, knitting with the serger, so I just write it down, serger. And this part, I need to curve it like this. This is right side up, wrong side to wrong side. Just making sure that everything looks good and looks right. Now I can trim my seam allowance. To 0.3 centimeters. And turn right side out and press. And then finish my raw edges with the serger. I don't use any templates, I just draw a curved line and cut off the excess. Before using a serger on your fly shield piece, make sure you press it out. And finish the curved raw edge of a fly facing piece. Next, set the zipper tape to the fly shield piece. Align the zipper tape right side up with the serged edge of the fly shield piece. The zipper top stoppers should be 1 centimeter below the fly edge, 1 centimeter below, like this. Align the edges I use fabric adhesive tape. You can use pins or baste it, whatever you prefer. Should be aligned like this. Then set the folded edge of left front piece next to the zipper teeth. Align the edges. The folded edge should be 1 or 2 millimeters away from zipper teeth. And do a straight stitch 1 millimeter from the folded edge to hip line mark. Now we can attach fly facing piece to the right side. I recommend to draw a line 1 centimeter from the edge, starting at the previously made seam to the top. Press seam allowance towards the wrong side of the fabric. And then place your fly piece on top of your seam allowance, right side down. Align the edges and pin in place. Do a straight stitch 1 centimeter from the edge, starting exactly the previously made seam. Press the seam flat, then press the seam open. And press the fly facing toward the wrong side along the center front seam line, like this. Press it out. Now it's time to stitch the other side of the zipper tape to fly facing. Secure the placement with a couple of pins, like this. Place the front sections down with the fly shield facing up and fly facing extended. Because we used pins to secure the placement, we know that everything is aligned. So I'm just using a couple of pins. And I can stitch the zipper to the fly facing. And you can stitch just 1 or 2 millimeters from the edge of the zipper tape. Now we can draw a line for top stitching. For top stitch, this is my hip line mark, and measure 3 centimeters from the center line and approximately at 2.5 centimeters to hip line start drawing curve line, and here I'm drawing my curve line connecting my hip line mark and my straight line for top stitching. For a top stitch, increase stitch length slightly. Do a straight stitch. You need to open a zipper and do a straight stitch to the point where your line starts to curve. Do a few back stitches, just a couple. Close up the zipper. You actually can cut the threads, pull out the fabric and organize it in front of you so it's laying flat and there is no waves or anything like that. And then start to stitch again at the point where you stopped. Make sure that fly shield piece is laying flat underneath your fly facing piece. At the hip line mark, reinforce the seam with zigzag stitches or 3 to 5 back and forth stitches. Give your garment a good press and your front fly is finished.